we're gonna get to the news, baby. It's Monday, and you know, there's some significant things happening in the world. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about the RNC that's happening right now in Milwaukee. It just started. Donald Trump's VP pick is most likely going to be JD Vance, as I said a while ago. Donald Trump also has mentioned that he's going to change. He wanted to change the rhetoric at the RNC to move towards like unity and less divisive rhetoric, and I believe that that is what's going on as well. We're gonna be talking about what that means for the future. Are the Democrats giving up? It seems like the Axios reporting shows that the Democrats might have actually given up on even running in the race. And if it's not JD Vance, I don't know. I mean, overheard RNC as VP announcement was coming today. She's ready. I'd be shocked if they just come in hot with something different. Nikki Haley was not even announced as a speaker. She's not even invited to the motherfucking RNC, so I doubt it's her. All right, anyway, I think it's still JD Vance, but we'll see. I'd be shocked if it's not. Having said that, let's blast off. Let's get right into it. We got a lot to talk about today. Do we have any good stuff? RNC day one, VP announcement, JD Vance, Republican double standard on violent rhetoric. Despite the shooter's Republican affiliation, they're still blaming the left. Lamau. Are the Dems giving up? Get in now. So much news. www.twitch.tv/Hasanabi. Biden NBC interview at 8 p.m. ES2. Trump documents case dismissed. I know. All right. Wait, where the hell did this go? Get in now. Hold on. Trump doc case dismissed. I can't wait to hear Trump's side of the story. The RNC gonna have more action, more drama, and hopefully karate moves from what we actually saw. Oh yeah, bro. I feel like he's also going to. I forgot that there's a fucking Brandon interview today too. God damn, dude. God damn it. I said this was so far the least interesting election cycle of our lifetime. But I always told you, but it has the capacity overnight to become the most interesting, most compelling election cycle. And God damn it, we are there officially. Did I think that it would be actually Donald Trump getting an attempted assassination? No. I thought it would have been one of the candidates dying, but due to like natural fucking causes, I did not personally think it would have been Donald Trump getting shot at and also surviving. Okay. This is actually an incredibly nutty moment in American history. And by God, we are here. Bergamaniacs, beat the fuck out. The dream is dead. I know. This is a sad year. For us. Take the credit though. Nah, bro, you craned the election cycle. I'm sick as fuck. Dude, 2024 is not the year where you can hit me with a Ukraine prediction any longer, okay? Including my predictions on Ukraine, my subsequent predictions on Ukraine that have also absolutely come true. Literally, this is the year of vindication. This is the year, 2024 is the year where my haters get outed. 2024 is the year where all of the things that I've been saying are now being reflected on with identical terms in fucking mainstream media. Like, I love watching you day to day, but man, it's especially when you break news lives. I love you, big dog. You the best, hunk. I try to do my best. 2024 year of vindication. I delivered breakfast to Sean Hannity's hotel room this morning. It's a mess. Yo, met Hannity today. He vapes. Yo, you think he was nutting in there? That's so funny. Dude, this is some real Fight Club shit, by the way. I got shooters everywhere. I got people everywhere, dude, especially considering the nature of the content that I cover and like my political perspectives. It's always, listen, dog, if you got a delivery driver out there, there's a likelihood that he's got me in the ear, okay? Listening in while they're driving around. Same with hotel workers and shit like that. When I say shooters, I don't mean like literal shooters. Oh my God. That's not what I meant. Oh my God. I meant like, that's a ref. Oh my God. That's not what I meant. You guys know what I mean. I meant like I got people everywhere, like not shooters. Oh my God. It was a colloquialism. People say it as a thing. Like, yeah, I got shooters everywhere. Like it's just not, I just meant like Fuck. I'm just gonna say I got gooners everywhere going forward. I had you in my ear checking customer out at $1 a tree, and I heard Trump get shot and literally scream what in real time. Yeah, we got grocery store clerks. We got fucking, you know, we got people doing deliveries and stuff. They're all gooning. We got goon squad everywhere. Eyes and ears all around. Okay. Shit, dude. Read this on stream now to change the narrative. Biden touching Trump's ear. Who did this to you? Trump. Joe. Forget it. Biden. Donald. Trump tearing out. Forget it, Joe. Biden. Donald. They passionately kiss. Joe's tongue pushes itself deep into Donald's mouth. Donald lets out a moan. Gross. 266,000 likes is nasty work. Okay? That is nasty work. Oh my God. Twitter likes being privated have had a devastating impact on the discourse. Okay? Letting everybody's freak flags fly perhaps far too early. It's like, I don't think people in an era where you could associate their likes with their faces and with their accounts would have ever had the decency, would be far too decent to like such a thing publicly. You feel me? Hey, I got the Macy's. Thank you for the playlist. Happy 8th birthday to this.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Yeah.
I don't know who created.
That's right. That's right. I'm with her. I'm still with her. She could have won. She could have won if you voted for her. She could have won. You guys suck. Walk to a polling booth. Kids today are talking about hawk to a, but I'm talking about walk to a polling booth and vote. VP announcement is less than an hour. Is gonna be no Rubio, no Burgum. Announcement at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. We know. It'd be shocking if Donald Trump shocked the world. I originally thought it would be smart for him to put a woman up there because of all the abortion stuff. But like, he very quickly cleared the only woman that could have potentially been on that ticket, because that woman voluntarily revealed information about herself that you shouldn't even reveal in a CIA black site under duress, which is that she like shot and killed her puppy, which was crazy. That was a wild moment. Like, there was like a couple women on the ticket, but like at the end of the day, it was just Kristi Noem was like the last bastion for women, for the gals. And she just fucking came out of the gate swinging, put a fucking book out there in the lead up to this as she was being teased as Trump's potential VP pick, and said, I love killing puppies. I can't get enough of dog murder. I killed my puppy and I will kill more. Okay? I have an insatiable, unquenchable thirst. I have an insatiable appetite for puppy murder. I will do it so much. And a goat. But like, nobody cares about the goat. But the puppy thing was so wild. And then she fucking double dog downed on it. Okay? She doubled down on it. She was like, yeah, I love killing puppies. What's up, woke libtards? She literally said, woke liberalism can't stop me from killing my puppy. This is cancel culture. And everyone was like, we like dogs, you idiot. Like, what are you, Pete Buttigieg? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like, so yeah, I think that kind of killed her chances harder than she killed that puppy. Who do you think he'll pick? I mean, I've been saying that it's JD Vance.
This morning, South Dakota Governor...
Like, look at this, dude. Come on, dude. It's so crazy.
Kristi Noem, considered to be in the running to become former President Trump's pick for vice president, is responding to the backlash over a story in her upcoming memoir. In the book, Noem says she shot and killed her 14-month-old puppy named Cricket for bad behavior.
That's literally like a couple months younger than Kaya. Like, Kaya's like 16 months old at this point, I think. Like, think about that.
Noem claims the wire-haired pointer had an aggressive personality that included misbehaving on a hunting trip, killing several chickens, and biting Noem's hand. Noem also...
Yo, ass, it's a puppy. It's your fault. I love Republicans who are just like, Yeah, by the way, Democrats want to do post-birth abortions. Like, is this the attitude that you would demonstrate for your child too? If your child was like doing some fucked up shit, instead of like educating your child, you would just kill them post-birth abortion, you know, a couple years in post-birth. Like when a dog is a puppy, you are responsible to train them. You have to train all the bad behavior out. That motherfucker right there. Okay, let me tell you something. That fucking this right here, this fucking demon, okay, who's sleeping like a goddamn baby currently, that thing right there was the spawn of Satan. Do you understand me? When I'm telling you that was the spawn of Satan, I'm telling you, like, I was sick. I was sick to my stomach. I was sick all the fucking time. I thought I was gonna die. And look at her now. The most perfect puppy of all time. Why? Because I trained the living dog shit out of her, okay? Every goddamn day, I had to train the people around her to make sure that they were doing the right things. I had to train her every fucking day. And that's what you're supposed to do. And look at her now. She's incredibly well trained. But like the first 4 to 6 months, I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, I think I might actually perish if this continues. So you shipped her off to a puppy boarding school? Yeah, but I trained her before then. Like, you have to remember, she was very well trained even before then. And then after that, it was like, it was over. Plus, if I can do that, she can do that too. What are you talking about? This is the fucking governor. Like, what? Yeah, I trained the shit out of her for months. I trained the shit out of her for months, and then I even took it to the next level where I took her to professional like doggy boarding school. And after that, it was over, you know? She's just new Wallace video if you need to address 1 million views. New Wallace video you need to address.
Let's have
1 million views in one day. Bro, I'm gonna talk about Cody Ko, but if you think I'm gonna talk about fucking Cody Ko having sex with Tana Mojo when she was 17 years old, like in the midst of the RNC, Trump's VP pick, Trump fucking almost being assassinated, you are like literally the most delusional person on the planet. I feel like every time you guys come in here, you straight up are coming in here and forcing me to even address, like, I will talk about it, of course, in the future. Shut the fuck up. Please, chatters, please read the fucking room. It's like, it's not even the room, okay? We're not even in the room at this point. Read the arena. Read the universe. It's like blaring. It's blasting in your face that there's so much more shit happening right now. Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I will get to it. I promise. Okay, I will get to you. I will get to it. Unrelated, but I think you should boot up Elden Ring right now. Yeah, it's like... Let's finish the Kristi Noem situation.
Also detailed killing a goat she called nasty and mean. Reaction has been swift from both sides of the aisle. Conservative media personality Laura Loomer saying she can't be VP now. You can't shoot your dog and then be VP. The Biden campaign posting these photos after the story emerged of the president and vice president with their dogs. And there was this moment at Saturday's White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I am killing this dinner harder than Kristi Noem kills the puppies.
But Noem responding yesterday saying, I followed the law and was being a responsible parent, dog owner, and neighbor, adding that shooting her dog wasn't easy, but often the easy way isn't the right way. Her fellow Republicans taking advantage of the controversy. Kari Lake, also a potential Trump VP pick, shared this photo.
Yeah, no, Kari Lake was not the VP. That would be a catastrophe for the room reader himself. I doubt that he is. First of all, Kari Lake's a fucking loser. And the Republican Party has no business with losers. Okay, that's for the Dems. Now, that's number one. Number two, Kari Lake is also exactly the worst type of VP pick that not only is a loser, but is also a nutty loser. Like, she lost because she's insane. And that's exactly the kind of stink that the Trump campaign is trying to avoid right now. harder than you avoid the top of the hour ad break when you hear me say avoid by subscribing instantaneously. For $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime, you will be able to avoid the top of the hour ad break. I didn't even realize it was the top of the hour until I said avoid, and it perked my ears up just as it perks your ears up. Speaking of dogs, you now have officially a Pavlovian reaction to the top of the hour, words like top of or words like avoid. Anyway, you can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Twitch Primes are free, though. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Wait a minute, Dems, Republicans are perpetual losers, never winning the popular vote, no red wave, Trump loss, come on. Wait, no, Democrats are fucking perpetual losers in the sense that their attitude is, as long as you fight, which Joe Biden demonstrated perfectly, that is the Democratic ideology, which is you fight hard, but you do the right thing, and then you lose, but as long as you lose valiantly, like, we'll still elevate you into a position of power, no problems there, okay? That is what I mean. Democrats don't fight in the same way that Republicans fight. Republicans fight hard if they got a fucking loser. With the only time I've ever seen the Republicans behave unceremoniously, because like they have a much harder battle to win. Because most people think, you know, when you bring out the Republican policies and then spell out exactly what will happen if those policies pass, most people go, yeah, that seems kind of crazy. I don't know about that. I don't know if I would want that. As a matter of fact, studies are conducted on this. Republican voters don't believe the impact of Republican policy. Like when asked about the actual policy, they'll say, yeah, I like this. And then when asked about the impact of said policy, they'll go, oh, I don't think that'll happen. That reality is what keeps the Republicans basically, keeps the Republicans going and not becoming like a pariah party, regardless of the genuinely repulsive opinions that they have. So it's kind of like mass deportations. Trump is saying it right now, but nobody, and I'm shocked that nobody's doing this, nobody is calling into question logistically how this will be conducted. Yo, what's good, boys? How was the interview? Yeah, Donzinger's the man. Yeah, he mentioned me, so aw, he's that dude. Yeah, he's my dude. I love him. Aussie boys are back. Anyway, so that's what I mean when I say Democrats are losers, in the sense that like they will put like Amy McGrath on, right? Like they just have this like idea in their minds where they'll be like, this is going to be a good pick. We'll put a patriotic conservative Democrat in this district, and then they'll surely win. And then they fucking lose like by insane margins after dumping like hundreds of millions of dollars into this race. And it's like, yeah, it's just not happening. You know what I mean? It's just stupid, but it doesn't matter. They never learn from those lessons. Republicans, on the other hand, are so good at like look at Texas GOP. They're so good at captivating people, regardless of the actual, like at the federal level, their policies are like, let's kill Mexicans. But then you go to fucking Texas GOP and they're like, every Mexican is voting for them. Not every Mexican, but like every Latino in Texas is like, hell yeah, brother. Fucking kill those immigrants. Why? How do they do that? Well, they do that because they're devious. They're mischievous. They'll do anything to win. You see this sick edit from your basketball highlights? Miss! What the fuck? That shit is...
There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Bitch, you missed. I tried to give y'all a chance. Like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane.
Okay, this is devastating for me. I was dying. Like, this sucks. I was fucking dying when this video was shot. And I still won, so still beat. His true social is JD Vance. We'll do the full song in a little bit. Wait. After lengthy deliberation and thought, and considering the tremendous talents in others, I've decided that the person best suited to assume the position of the Vice President of the United States is Senator JD Vance of the great state of Ohio. 2024 is the year of the Hasanabi vindication year. Hasanabi, how many months? How many months did you know? How many months ago did you fucking know? if you're in here, you already knew this was gonna happen. Now, my heart was with Doug Burgum the entire time, but my brain was saying, it's gonna be JD Vance. You knew that already. Anyway, JD honorably served our country in the Marine Corps, graduated from Ohio State University in 2 years, summa cum laude, and is a Yale Law School graduate, where he was the editor of the Yale Law Journal and president of the Yale Law Veterans Association. JD's book, Hillbilly Elegy, became a major bestseller and movie as it championed the hardworking men and women of our country. JD has had a very successful business career in technology and finance, and now, during the campaign, this shit isn't funny? Why not? You think it's not? You think it isn't funny that Donald Trump is so goddamn cucked that he took one of Peter Thiel's blood boys as his vice president, even though Peter Thiel's like, I don't know if I'm going to give any money to the fucking Republican Party any longer, while simultaneously, this Peter Thiel blood boy literally made a career early on being an anti-Trump, never Trump Republican who called Donald Trump Hitler. I think it's pretty funny. It'll work. I don't trust anything. What? Anyway, we'll be strongly focused on the people he fought so brilliantly for, the American workers, farmers of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Minnesota, and far beyond. I think he thinks that like Democrats in these Democrats in these places will be like, or independents in these places will be like, oh yeah, JD Vance is sick. We love JD Vance. Fucking told you. Okay. I freaking told you. I freaking told you, man. Anyway. Damn, dude. Let your dog walk around a little, brother. Shh. Don't even talk to me about that. Okay. I posted this yesterday as well. How are you so good at predicting everything? I'm not. Here's the message JD Vance sent to his friend suggesting Donald Trump might be America's Hitler. Let's go. Maybe he meant it as a positive. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Real Byzantine Empire, hours at the RNC. Yo, Alexa, they have Archbishop Elpidoforos, the Greek Orthodox primate of America, at the RNC, dog. Do you see this? Bro, this is, they're winning. They're captivating they're winning this Serbian's vote. Okay. He's going to vote for Donald Trump illegally twice now. He was already going to do that.
So I was going to do it anyway, but
yeah, this is the least Republican thing you can do, which is consume these fruits that you get from Mexicans on the street.
Yeah.
That's like terrifying.
I was hoping you wouldn't show that to the audience. It's my secret shame.
Yeah.
Eating fruit.
Yeah. It's really fucked up. He loves it too. He's always like
best.
He's always like
so
looking
much
for
fruit.
him.
We stopped on the way.
How much was that? The whole thing?
$10.
Damn,
it's
Biden's America, dude. That shit is expensive. Trump says all his cases need to go for unity reasons. I love that. I fucking love that, dude.
What unity? It was a fucking Republican who shot him.
Yeah,
they're tight.
Well, he's saying unity in the Republican Party. Don't shoot. He's like, unite, Republican Party. Don't shoot me. Shoot the Democrats. What are you doing? That's what he meant. He didn't put tahini or lime in it. Nah, that's true. Why don't you put
lime?
Why don't you put tahini on it?
I'm too white. I don't know.
But
I
you're
like
not,
my fruit without.
You're not. You eat like a Chinese 75-year-old.
Yeah, but they don't put tahini on their fruit either.
I feel like if you specifically talk about the mouthfeel of like the crunchiness of bone marrow or whatever, what is it? Cartilage? You specifically seek out cartilage when we go to eat food at places. So if that's the case, I feel like you should be fine with tahini as well. Chinese don't use tahini. I know, but I'm saying like he eats like weird ass shit. Like an old Chinese man. Yeah, he literally.
I love it.
Anyway. Okay. Well, let's get to it. I just wanted to show you that.
What was he talking about? It's just a screenshot.
Oh, he probably like, just that the Ottoman Empire must fall or something. I don't know.
We've never made it to a stage like this in America.
No, they always have.
One of our wizards.
Yeah, they always have the fucking. They have like everyone pretty much.
Really?
They
like
bring
an imam?
Yeah. I don't actually. I think they have everyone but Muslims. Like they don't have like the brown ones.
This
Like
is
they'll
pretty
have,
close to
but they'll have like
Muslim, no?
all the white. Like they'll have a rabbi. They'll have like all the different sects of Christianity. I don't think they have Muslims
I'm glad we made it into the white.
because they don't want to shoot them.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, ah!
I mean, could people tell the difference between this guy and an imam though? Like, do they? This
Yes,
would look
bro.
pretty foreign.
Yes, he's white. What do you mean? That's it.
Look at that
Okay.
bling. That's not even a cross. What is he?
Don't put tahini on mango. Put cayenne. Confirmed by Real Patriots. Ethiopian Coptic Christians left out. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked up. Okay. Oh, tahini is used in mixing hot pot sauce. No, I'm not talking about tahini. No, tagine. Tahini is different. It's like a sour, savory, like pepper mix. All right, let's get to the fucking news, baby. We're gonna talk about, where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. The RNC has already kicked off.
I'm so jealous that I'm not there.
I know. I really wanted to be there. White House press conference is happening on the first day of the RNC. They're having a grand old time.
They must
We'll
be
get
so
to all of
happy.
that.
They must be
But obviously, as you guys know, and as I've covered extensively at this point, so I don't think I should cover once again, Donald Trump was shot at by a fucking registered Republican 20-year-old lone wolf shooter who is a cisgender white guy as far as we know. Okay? All of his former classmates in high school were like, yeah, he was a loner. Yeah, he was a weirdo. He was excelling in school, but like everybody bullied him because he constantly wore like duck hunting shit. And also he
Demolition
was
Ranch
like,
merch.
he was like definitely right wing. And he was wearing a Demolition Ranch merchandise on. Obviously, like, you know, Demolition Ranch is not necessary. I know the second mic picks me up. There's nothing I can do. Shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. FBI is in his phone and they found nothing. It seems the FBI says they have the cell phone of the alleged Trump assassin and it has been flown to the FBI lab in Quantico to be accessed and researched. Right now, they have not been able to determine what, if any, ideology the shooter had. They say there is a very limited social media presence. Dude, the problem is like, I don't think the people in Quantico know like online brain. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would do a better job. If they showed me the phone, I could literally tell them in like 3.5 seconds exactly what his point of radicalization was. Give me access to his cookies. Give me access to his like online consumption. This is like the only thing that I excel in and will stand on business on. And it is just like online radicalization. I don't work for one of these like fucking weird NGOs, think tanks or whatever that's like constantly tracking extremism on both sides or whatever. But like, I know exactly how this happens. Okay. I would do an infinitely better job than the FBI. And out of like sheer interest, like it's just curiosity. Like I need to know what this fucking freak was doing. Okay. I need to know what this freak thought. Like what was his point of radicalization? Like what was the reason why he donated $15 to some like fucking weird Democrat PAC with like push polls and shit? Like, and then why he registered as a Republican. I just need to know. I need to know so fucking bad. I don't even give a shit about like the implications down the line. I don't care if he was like, that was a different guy. No, it wasn't. He is the one who donated.
Oh, it
Shut
is
up.
the same guy.
It is the
Not
same
the
guy.
6-year-old.
It is the same guy. It is the same guy. It's the same guy. Shut up. 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 It's the same guy. You guys are wrong. Oh my God. He is the same. He is the same person. There was a lot of misinformation, a lot of back and forth. Okay. The most likely story. Yeah, I made a video about this already. Everybody go watch it if you want. Trump's shooter identified. It's my latest video on my channel. The likelihood that he donated, I thought that was debunked. No, likelihood that it was donated. 2 pieces of news here on the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks. After giving $15 in 2021, he or whoever was using his email unsubscribed from the Progressive Turnout Project PAC. No further activity. And I identified 2 emails that match description of the one that triggered his donation. Scroll down for images of them. Okay? This is actually good journalism for the record. This is not just fucking hysterically and vaguely gesturing at things. Ryan Grimm is doing real fucking journalism. Amira Links, thank you for the 10 community gifted subs.
Like sweat.
No,
What?
No, it was you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
could be. Both of you guys are stinky half the fucking time.
It's like a thick, salty smell.
Yummy.
Anyway, but yeah, this is the rapid response poll that he most likely pushed on, which is, should President Joe Biden pardon Donald Trump? Yes, no, unsure. We need to know if voters support this. This data will provide to be crucial, so please respond now. Should President Joe Biden pardon Donald Trump? Okay, so my girlfriend is watching and cannot keep herself from noticing how the Aussies are constantly sniffing their feet.
I wasn't doing that.
I don't sniff my feet, just my armpits.
Yeah, that's Alexa.
I did do it the
Alexa
other night.
literally is like constantly fucking gripping his grippers with his hands and then like smelling his fingers and then also touching things around.
I'm just nervous to be in front of all these cool people.
Yeah.
You don't want them to smell you.
Anyway, but yeah, this is yeah, he got fished by Act Blue probably, or it could have been a fucking the other likely story is that it might have been a fucking donation. Like it might have been a bet, because it's like, who the fuck donates on inauguration? Do you know anyone who has donated to the Democratic Party on inauguration? Like anyone? Think about that. Like who?
Oh, it's like if Joe Biden wins, I'll donate.
Yeah, like it's
it sounds like a joke. Like,
That means he has to have friends to make a bet with.
which
That's
he
the
doesn't.
hole in the story.
yeah, he doesn't. As far as we understand, he does not have any friends. But no, he did have friends. No, he had like he had some Republican friends, according to other people that were talking from his former classmates. Anyway, there's a million different reasons. There's a million different reasons why it could have happened. But ultimately, I know it was JD Vance. I know I was right. Everybody calm down. We already covered it literally as soon as it happened. I know. Okay. JD Vance, VP. Okay. Too many people are talking what those two boys who probably contributed to his bullying, telling his life story like it's all the facts. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Didn't they call him a bad shot? Some of the boys were like, he was a horrible shot. He got kicked out
Yeah,
of the
they
shooting
kept bullying
club.
him post-mortem.
Yeah, I was like,
Give
come
him a
on.
They were like,
like,
yeah, he's ass at shooting. He
We can
sucked. He
tell. We
smelled
saw
bad.
it, like-
No, that's not bad shooting, bro. He
You get
almost
someone in the ear from 150 meters away?
150-yard shot while you're literally under potential suppressive fire, like from actual with iron sights. That's not an easy fucking shot. I think that's ridiculous. He literally moved his head right before the shot. That was actually a really good shot. It just happened to be incredibly lucky. Trump happened to be incredibly lucky. I can't believe I'm defending this fucking Republican. Okay,
He's not bad at shooting. Stop making fun of him.
No, it's just like,
Why didn't he go for his body? That's what I,
like
want to
that
know.
is- yeah.
That's my question.
I mean, he
like-
might have been going for his.
But he's got a big body.
yeah, that's true. No, you're absolutely right. You're supposed to hit center mass in a
Yeah.
situation like that. You're not supposed to fucking try to take a
Maybe
headshot.
he was aiming for center of mass and it went that far. Away.
Yeah.
Far
Yeah,
away.
you always are supposed to aim center mass. You're not supposed to fucking go for a headshot. That's
Center of mass
crazy.
would be his booty, though. So
Yeah, he's real thick in the middle.
Yeah, but he probably thought there was a bulletproof vest. I highly doubt that he was making these calculations in that moment. I think he like just aimed for anything, and it happened to be almost his head, and he literally moved like right in that moment to look at like his immigrants are rapist chart. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Without the immigrants are rapist chart head movement, boom, goes right through the back of his dome. He might even survive a shot like that, by the way. Like people have survived things like that before. He would just be John Fetterman, which is
He might swap.
yeah, he would be even more pro-Israel somehow. I don't know how. But like also with his head movement, he just it cleared his ear. Anyway.
If it was actually an image of Trump, though, his brain would be a lot bigger.
Yeah, that's right.
Very true.
That's a terrible diagram. The brain is much too large. A soft vest wouldn't protect from supersonic rounds. Yeah, I don't know if like, because he doesn't have level 4 plates. Like you can tell, Trump is not that fat. You know what I mean? Like he can't be sheltering level. Yeah, there's no way. You can see it. At most, he'd have like a soft vest underneath, and an AR-15 is gonna penetrate that most likely. But I don't know. What kind of rounds was he using? We didn't even cover that because like it looks like I feel like I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's crazy that he just like grazed his ear. It was a 5.56, dude. It is nuts. Like he is the luckiest man on the planet.
Right.
Like it is so crazy. He was using 5.56 NATO rounds. Like that shit. If it hit his head, it would be over. Okay.
Yeah.
If it hit center mass, it would be fucking over. Not always. Civilian rounds, especially soft tip, can be stopped by concealable armor. 5.56 is kind of a shit round. See, we need the demolition ranch to come in here and teach us about all of these gun-related things.
I really hope that one of the gun YouTubers does a recreation. Like,
Dude,
I think they have to.
Okay, I literally told you guys to do that as a
I
video.
know, but every gun YouTuber hates me, so I don't have anyone I can actually connect with. I can't now be like, whoa, you want to hang out again? Like,
That's true.
someone should do it.
Yeah, you should just hit up Brandon Herrera. Be like, no, be like, it's Unity time.
It's Unity time. Come on, we got to solve this problem
violence,
together.
right?
Yeah, it's Unity time. Let's make it, because he made, you guys told me, Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, friend of Demolition Ranch, hater
Friend
of
of
these
ours.
two
Friend of
fucking
ours.
commies, by the way. I, on the other hand, Brandon, I love you. I voted for you illegally in Texas in your congressional race. I'm sad that you lost,
Me too.
you know? Anyway, please don't kill me. But Brandon Herrera fans, please don't execute me, okay? I love Brandon. I'm a big fan. He loves AKs. I love AKs. He knows the superior platform is so much better than AR. He's aware of that. We're aware of that. We have much that we align on. Anyway,
the best kind of criticism we get from Brandon fans is just like, you guys know nothing about guns. You're idiots. Like, you're so evil for making this video. We're going to shoot you when you come to VidCon. It's just like, I don't think you're making the point you think you're making here. Like, it sounds like guns are a little bit dangerous.
yeah. Anyway, don't you have contact with Donut Operator? I would rather hang out with Brandon than Donut Operator, even though they're besties. Okay. Donut Operator dick rides cops too hard for me. Okay. I just like I like the anti-ATF gun guys more than I like the pro ATF gun guys. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Oh, we were joking. Yeah, Brandon Herrera, he got like demonetized permanently or suspended or something for recreating the gun that Shinzo Abe was using the Shinzo Abe assassination and then like recreating that assassination.
Which is insane because he uses real guns, which are much more dangerous. It's like, why is he getting demonetized for this?
Yeah. So I don't know. There are definitely like lefty adjacent gun guys though. Like there are definitely gun guys that I could even link you up with, like people that, you know, former military, like vets that have like arsenals and shit that, you know, do make content.
Well, that's
but
what I mean. There's nothing like wrong with having guns. I think like having guns and loving the police is like, is the line.
And it's so sad that so many of the gun YouTubers, like especially the ones that like view historical guns, they are just way too much of a fascination with Nazi guns as well. It's always that, like, it's a very common theme.
yeah, that's why. Did you say NATO tried to kill Trump? No, a NATO round. NATO rounds. You think Biden was behind this? Yeah, NATO 5.56 NATO rounds implies that it was actually NATO. He was Ukrainian after all.
It was Sweden.
Yeah.
Sweden did it.
He was Finnish. Scary shit. No, that's just the rounds, man.
They brought back that Finnish sniper.
I love it because it's like childish thinking to be like, well, I just got scared because I misunderstood the situation and now I'm scared by my misunderstanding. It's like, no, man, it's your imagination that is terrifying you. Okay. Anyway, all right. I have to dial in. When you guys come in here, I fucking fall apart a little bit and I start shooting the shit a little too much.
Okay. We're gonna watch another cuck video.
No, we're not doing that. We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue. We're not gonna. You can stay here. I just need to lock in.
No, he's pooing.
All right, go poo. Go poo. Wait, the shooter's OnlyFans? Nah, I highly doubt that. I don't believe that.
Oh, who he subscribes to? I thought you meant he had videos.
Nah. This is an ad, bro. No shot. This is like, dude, OnlyFans Twitter bots are literally the last layer of hell, okay? They will literally market off of anything. This is engagement bait, chatters.
Do people use their full name in their OnlyFans account?
I doubt it, but like, bro. Let me tell you something, okay? OnlyFans girls will literally market off of the Shinzo Abe assassination. They'll market off of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Like, they will do it. They will do it for anything. Okay.
Brian said.
Yeah, they are actual next level Sigma grind set marketing demons. Okay. Anyway, but like I said, Trump assassination, attempted assassination, and the subsequent conversation surrounding it has occurred over the last 2 days, and I have covered it. I've covered it a lot. I've covered it nonstop. So I don't think that we should go back and dive into it, but the most in the short and sweet of it is Donald Trump, attempted assassin, is a Republican, so that kind of, and he's a white guy, and he's wearing like a gun tuber merch and shit. So like that kind of destroyed all of the immediate narratives that New York Post came out with, calling him Chinese, which was crazy.
I still believe it.
I still believe in my heart that he was doing it for Xi, but like all of the marginalized communities took a collective sigh when they found out that like the dude wasn't of Hispanic origin or black or Muslim or had sympathies for Palestinians. You know what I mean? Like everyone was like, oh, thank fucking Christ, or Ukrainian or whatever the fuck, right? Like, or trans. And it's like, it basically diminished all of the underlying narratives. Now, that didn't stop the Republicans from running with that narrative. Obviously, Tom McDonald immediately came out and made a music video.
No,
he did.
Oh, I love that
He
guy.
came out and made a music video. Ben Shapiro made this YouTube video for 53 minutes. He just basically was trying to say like, well, violent rhetoric doesn't necessarily make stochastic terrorism. Well, he has to say that because like many stochastic terrorists have literally directly called him out as their inspiration. While simultaneously saying, but the Democrats' words are violence. And it's kind of funny because like that kind of falls apart. That narrative kind of falls apart when, you find out a little bit more about the background of the shooter, and he's like a white dude and not like Chinese, Arab, Ukrainian, trans, and an undocumented migrant. You know what I mean? So, but they're still going along with it. They're still going along with this fucking narrative. I watched Asmongold cover it in the first 5 minutes. He said the dude was Antifa. Yeah, but okay, bro, that's your fault. Okay, that's not anyone else's fault but yours. You went to Asmongold to get this coverage. Okay, I'm sorry. like I'm not making a comparison between like Fox News and Asmongold, but if I were to go to Fox News, I'm sure I would hear someone say that this dude was Hamas. You know what I mean? Like everyone is just gonna have their own seasoning.
It's just funny while like Biden's funding the genocide and sending all these weapons are going to kill Trump. They're like, this is the real.
I'm sure.
Wait, the Demolition Ranch made a video. He's so handsome. He's got such beautiful eyes. Okay. Hey, I'm Chinese and can confirm the shooter was not Chinese. He was Mongolian. How dare you? How dare you say that when the Mongolians are rising up right now?
He's actually Uyghur.
Dude, he was from Xinjiang, the shooter, I heard. This is why you need to combat Islamic separatists, Islamic separatist terror in your country. Maybe round them up a little bit, Anyway, Nikki Haley, some reacts to the news of Senator J.D. Vance selection. Okay. We're going to get to all of this. But, goddamn. But listen. Ultimately, here's the situation. Okay? Here's the situation. Since then, the Democrats, according to Axios reports, have said that like they're dialing back on the rhetoric, which is the worst thing you can fucking do. You're so stupid. You're running against Donald Trump. Nothing changed. Donald Trump is still a genuine threat to American democracy. Donald Trump is still running on mass deportations of more than 10 million migrants that are currently on U.S. soil. I'm sorry. That is completely unacceptable. Okay? Completely unacceptable. Forbes, you fuckhead. What?
I'm not coming back to America if there's no more fruit.
Yeah. How will you won't be able to have your street fruit.
Yeah.
If all the migrants go away.
Dude, it's so hard to fucking get fruit here. All the ones in the grocery stores are rotten. This is the only real stuff.
Okay. Having said that, however, there has been something very unique since the shooting. Donald Trump changed up his RNC speech and is openly saying that he's going to be calling for unity. Now, I think he's doing that because, again, this was a gift, perhaps from God, in terms of like how he can reframe. What is Donald Trump's biggest weakness in the polls, especially with independents and moderates? The fact that he's chaotic, the fact that he's undemocratic, the fact that he did January 6th. This is things that old people care about. We don't give a shit about half of this because we know what he is, but like a lot of old people give a shit about that. How can he do marketing on that? Well, change course, change narrative. Say like, oh, I'm the unity candidate. I'm the real unity candidate, not Joe Brandon. So that's precisely what he's aiming for, a centrist pitch, okay? He's trying to do a centrist pivot, and I am very afraid that it is going to work because Americans are dumb as fucking bricks.
But also, what's Biden offering? Like, there's no other. He's not offering an alternative.
Yeah. So we will see. We will see what happens. But here, let's take a look.
Coming up on 20 minutes before the top of the hour, Fox News alert. Former President Donald Trump arrived in Milwaukee yesterday and making adjustments to his big speech this week after the attempted assassination attempt on his life. Bill Malugin is here in Milwaukee with us. Bill, what can you tell us about what the president's going to say inside that arena in a couple of nights?
Couple of nights.
Well, Steve,
Yeah.
I want it now.
JD Vance is the pick, by the way.
good morning to you.
But you would have known that if you've been watching me for months, because I've been telling you that it's going to be JD Vance, even though he is a bad pick for VP, by the way. I'm not even joking when I say I think Nikki Haley would have been the best possible pick for Donald Trump. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me on this. She is a psycho, but I think Nikki Haley would have been literally the best possible pick. Centrist, moderate appeal, a woman. You were able, one of the only people in the Republican Party who was like regularly talking about abortion being like banned at the federal level, being like a genuinely bad idea. Like she unironically would have been the best possible pick for Donald Trump. I stand on that. He went with JD Vance.
Well, if he's
instead.
already got it in the bag after getting shot in the ear, I feel like you can do whatever you want.
Well, no, he can't do whatever he wants. He still understands. That's why he's doing this fucking unity call now, too. He knows that his chances, regardless of being shot in the fucking ear, are still not exactly great, right? So she also wrote, finish them on an Israeli rocket. We're talking about the Republican Party. What do you mean? Assassinating a Palestinian child on stage would do numbers for them. What are you talking about? This is the party that is running on literally fucking, again, concentration camps for 15 million migrants living on U.S. soil and mass deportations. That is their top of the line agenda item. That is their most important agenda item for them. Okay? So, you know, something to consider, something to think about. We'll talk about JD Vance in a little bit, okay?
The attempted assassination of Donald Trump is changing everything he planned to say here at the RNC this week. Originally, he was really going to go after Joe Biden and his policies, but now he says he's essentially tearing his speech up and starting all over. Here's what he told the Washington Examiner, quote, "The speech I was going to give on Thursday was going to be a humdinger. Had this not happened, this would have been one of the most incredible speeches. Honestly, it's going to be a whole different speech now." Top Trump advisor Jason Miller adds this.
Was dictating to us some additional things that he wants in his speech as he looks ahead to Thursday. And I think the tone is really going to impress people. He knows that this is a key moment, that he's the only one who can step up and lead in this time. And this country is desperate for leadership.
Now, Trump arrived here in Milwaukee last night, just one day after he was shot and miraculously survived, so close to being killed on Saturday. Party officials say the show here will go on as intended, with everything kicking off today. We're still waiting to find out exactly who's going to be speaking today, but we do know what they'll be speaking about. Take a look at this. Every day of this RNC has a specific theme. Today is Make America Wealthy Again, with a focus on inflation and the economy. Tomorrow is Make America Safe Again, with a focus on the border and crime. The last 2 days are Make America Strong once again and Make America Great once again. Thursday night is when the former president will speak himself. And back out here live, big development. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley has been invited and will be speaking here at the
things when he was president.
Yeah,
is that what they're saying?
So it was great, and then 4 years of like not great, and then he's gonna make it once again. Make America Great once again, which is MAGA. Doesn't hit as hard as MAGA.
No.
Yeah. Well, they also tried CAG, Keep America Great, when he was running, and it was a massive flub.
He could have just stuck to
down.
He could have stuck to MAGA. It's still grammatically true, even if you think he already made America great.
I know, but which is why he did. He ultimately did.
RNC tomorrow night. That is a significant development, and it shows potentially some bridges being mended between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley after what was a brutal primary season between the two of them, constantly attacking each other. As for Trump's VP pick, We could be finding that out as soon as today. We'll send it back to you.
Damn, Fox News cooking JD Vance. Yeah, past comments on Trump. Might be America's Hitler. Might be a cynical asshole. Cultural heroine. Noxious and reprehensible.
Amazing.
These are all the wonderful things that JD Vance said back when it was hot to say anti-Trump things. Okay? JD Vance is... I love JD Vance. He's great. He's the worst. He's not one of the worst, but he is like a pretty bad pick for Donald Trump. Like he's up there with like Vivek Ramaswamy for ironically identical reasons. Just aside from Vivek being Indian and openly Indian, unlike Nikki Haley, and having a last name like Ramaswamy, which would appear next to Trump, which is completely unacceptable for like all of the biggest evangelical sickos who think he is a demon sent from hell and the Antichrist because he's Indian. Isn't his wife Indian? Yeah, that don't matter. That's too many. I don't even know if JD Vance's wife is Indian, but it doesn't fucking matter. Like JD Vance himself is white. So why is Fox going after him? I think this is old. Oh, Trump ticket contenders for vice presidential pick.
Oh my God.
This is before he was picked. They were talking about his weaknesses probably. So this is JD Vance's wife. Page you requested is not being found. I have no idea he was so ugly. There's no shot they're winning. No, he's like plump.
Also, everyone else is 80. So like,
yeah, he looks
even if
young.
you're an ugly young guy, you're still good looking.
Yeah. So yeah, here it is. Here's JD Vance. Like this is gonna play so much against Donald Trump. All of the things that he has said about Donald Trump over and over again are going to be played by not only mainstream media but myself as well. I'll be doing this because I think it's really funny and I think it's really fun that Donald Trump went with JD Vance, which is like the coward pick in my opinion. The real brave move would have been Doug Burgamaniacs. So yeah, we'll get to the VP pick and what it means. But you know what? Actually, let's get started on it. Let's get started on the JD Vance VP pick. Let me see if Edgar Menton will come on today for sure. I'm on vacation right now, so it'll be through my phone. What difference is that to me, Lamau? Let's do it. So we had to read Hillbilly Elegy and Sociology in high school. Weird, my lib teachers and family loved this book and gifted it to everyone they know for Christmas. Yes, because the reason why they love it is because JD Vance was like super libbed up. Wall Street Journal's Who is JD Vance video. We'll look at this now. What is this? If Trump wins and then does Lev Parnas, question again, or has to step down to the health issues or something, JD Vance would have an approval rating so low that it's not yet been seen in presidential politics. He would effectively be our Francois Holland. Yeah. This is precisely what happened, by the way. Upper West Side liberals in 2016 want to understand working class whites make a book a bestseller. Like JD Vance, if you watched Hillbilly Elegy, if you read Hillbilly Elegy, and I certainly did not. I did not watch, nor did I fucking read, okay? One, because I don't read, but even if I were to read, I would not be reading that bullshit. But I did see the fucking, the Cliff Notes. And let me tell you, from all I saw in the Cliff Notes, it was a man who was desperate to escape his working class background, a man with like genuine disgust for the working class whites in the Appalachian area who like legitimately hates them, despises them, and thinks of them as heroin addicted freaks. Okay. Like literally just so much old school Republican Party style elitist discontent for these fucking people. Okay. And no, don't say not wrong. Come on, chatters. Jesus Christ. Don't do this fucking liberal elitist bullshit. All right. Those motherfuckers are victims. It doesn't matter if they're hogs sometimes or all the time. They're still fucking victims nonetheless. All right. And if you're from that fucking area, you definitely shouldn't have this level of discontent because you know them as like human beings. You know them as your mother. You know them as your father. You know them as your fucking, family members and shit. Isn't he from there? So it's basically just kind of dumb shame he has. Yes, he has. He literally personally looked at the capitalist exploitation of the Appalachian and individualized it as a moral failing and spent his entire life going to Yale, going to Harvard, all this shit. Or did he go to Harvard? I think he went to Harvard Law too, or maybe Yale. Regardless, he definitely went to Yale. Going to Yale and like presenting himself as like the white working class whisperer who fucking despises them. Okay, who despises the white working class and sees them as like reactionary, drug-addled fucking freaks. Let's do it now. So I'm gonna have Edinger Mentum on right now to come and speak on the matter. He has written extensively about JD Vance alongside all of these other. He is you're so fucking mad in Twitch chat over nothing. What are you talking about? What? Anyway, Edinger Mentum, not Edinger Mentum, sorry. I'm gonna have Edinger Mentum on. He is going to be talking about JD Vance. He's written extensively on JD Vance among all of the other VP picks. He considers JD Vance to be F tier pick for Donald Trump. I agree with him. We will talk about why he considers JD Vance to be an F tier pick as soon as I get him on the line. He's dialing in from vacation. All right. While we wait, though, here we can do the fucking Wall Street Journal. But actually did win directly. Like he's Blake Masters, who did win, is JD Vance, and we have Edinger Mentum on the line right now. What's up, dude?
Yeah, sure. Let me turn on a speaker. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We could have heard you from the jump.
Yeah. So Trump shows JD Vance. JD Vance got a weird case. He's going he's going Drake mode. Trump has gone Drake mode.
Okay, talk to us. So you wrote, let me see if I can pull up your article right now. You wrote about JD Vance extensively, as you wrote about all of the other potential VP picks. You and I were in agreement even during the debate that it was most likely going to be JD Vance as his VP pick. But you think this is a bad idea. Why? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, this guy is 39 years old. He's been in the Senate for like a year. So this is like the most unqualified, like on paper, candidate since Dan Quayle. Like even Dan Quayle was at least a second-term senator, I think. He given like Trump's very like obvious brushes with mortality, like he is like a very clear, like this is like a legitimate consideration people have to make. It's not even like with HW where he was like 60 or whatever, and it was kind of like a secondary consideration. Vance has won in one election. He won the primary off of Trump's endorsement after like spending his like whole career talking about how Trump was terrible until he decided that he liked him. That race in 2022 was a near catastrophe for Republicans in Ohio, which this is a state Trump won by 8 points. It was a Republican midterm, 8% inflation, Biden like 40% approval. Vance trailed the Democrat in that race for almost the entire summer and fall. He was losing like by large margins for much of the race. They had to spend tens of millions of dollars to bail him out. It might have cost him the Senate because they had to spend so much money there.
They had to roll out Trump too, right? I mean, they literally they had to bring him out there to be like, this is my guy, JD Vance. And ironically enough, when Trump was rolled out there, he didn't even get his name right because in the beginning, in the primary in the Ohio race, Donald Trump like didn't initially I think he didn't initially actually say he JD Vance was his guy because the other person,
Josh Mandel.
Yeah, Josh Mandel was like was also Trumpian, right? If I'm remembering it correctly.
He was like ultra Trump guy.
Yeah.
He was like kind of infamous on Twitter for a bit. Just very on the nose. I think Trump thought it was obsequious, which is, his like mindset is very weird. Vance was a huge anti-Trump guy, like in 2016. Like I'm sure you know that, like Bill Kristol level. Like he called Trump Hitler. He said like they'll never forgive the party for this. That Trump was an affront to God. Just like he totally
flip-flopped after. He called him heroin. Maybe he meant he's opium though, like Ken Carson. Yeah. Like he was saying like Trump is opium.
Yeah, opium of the masses, which might have been a compliment given his work for Purdue Pharma, which creates the actual opium for the masses.
Okay, to be fair, even Hitler might be a compliment when you think about it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. That's maybe Trump realized that he was actually being nice to him the whole time. He was comparing him. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, like, so Vance's one election, like the biggest flop election, like of the midterm, arguably, he like gets bailed out by like the Republican Senate committee and all these big donors. They have to spend tens of millions of dollars, like 10-digit ad buys on him, and he only wins by 6, which is 2 points less than what Trump won the state by in 2020, he did substantially worse than Trump in a lot of working class areas. Like he did worse than him across the state, but it was really acute, like in like the coal mining area. So like his supposed appeal with working class people is not real. It's not like an actual thing. Every other Republican in the state like won by like 20 points. I think Mike DeWine won by 25. So there was a significant population of people who were fine voting for like pretty much every other Republican in the state, but not J.D. Vance. He is uniquely poor electorally. Everything about him shows that his shtick does not work.
Well, it's because he's from the crop of the Blake Masters style candidates that are like very clearly liberals who almost try to cater to the most reactionary weirdos in the Republican base, which aren't, ironically enough, the fucking evangelical Christians, but usually the Republicans in like deep blue districts, like those guys who aren't just like, oh, I'm a Republican, my dad's a Republican, I'm a Christian, whatever, I fear God, but instead the guys who are like, you know, reading Culture of Critique and being like, I'm a Groyper, or the guys who are like, the guys who are going to like protest serially all around, you know, like going to parent-teacher association conferences, even though they don't have fucking children, and they're just like losing their minds talking about how, like QAnon and shit.
Yeah, Moms for Liberty types. He is really indicative of the brand of Republican politics that does like is even worse than Trump. Like there's kind of like Trump himself is bad. He's always been very unpopular. But like we saw consistently with basically the Peter Thiel candidates like Blake Masters and Vance, those were his two prize recruits. They did like hysterically awful. Like there's so many like quotes like about like how focus groups watching like Blake Masters were like crying. Like Vance was basically similar. He's like not charismatic. It's just it's an awful pick. If he wanted to get loyalty, he could have. He had so many different options. I think he's just Trump is a dumb guy, so he's flattered by the intellectualism that Vance like kind of posits to have.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I mean, they're gonna hit Donald Trump on the same issues that like I've already brought up. I brought it up yesterday, even where he went with where it was obviously it was gonna be JD Vance, and like JD Vance did this thing where like the Ben Shapiro type narrative where you know, it's Joe Biden's like really violent rhetoric. Words are violence. Joe Biden's really violent rhetoric is the reason why Donald Trump was shot at by a registered Republican 20-year-old.
Yeah, it's the like, worst instance possible because like if you are trying to actually benefit from those kinds of shootings, you do not politicize it. The whole point is that you can look like an apolitical victim. You're not trying to like make this into another example of how much Biden sucks. People already hate Biden. You've won that battle. He's just a debate nerd. He feels like he has to get every point in. There's no like actual sense of like what actually appeals to normal people because he doesn't know what normal people are like. He's from Silicon Valley.
Yeah, exactly. He is like white Vivek Ramaswamy in many ways, but like at least unlike Vivek Ramaswamy, he gets to bring like one massive donor potentially, which Trump I think is like desperately looking for. That's probably the reason why he even had Doug Burgum as like a top line contender for the VP selection, because like there's no reason to ever put Burgum in any of these categories. It's not like I wouldn't say that like you know, North Dakota was in question, right?
No,
like,
not really. No.
Yeah, for JD Vance is like at least he didn't kill his fucking dog, right? And wrote about it. And and I guess like I like that you're also a Burgomaniac. You gave him a B tier here, it says.
Yeah, Burgum was real. Burgum was real as fuck.
Yeah. Ron DeSanctimonious. You say Nikki Slaley is D tier. I disagree with you. I think Nikki's
this must have been an older one. I published an updated version of it. That I think was this the one that I published like a couple months ago?
I don't know. This is the one I found. I think this is the updated one. Q tier, General Mike Flynn. Wait, where's JD Vance in this?
Oh, I think Vance is in like are you looking at the good section?
I'm just scrolling through all of it.
Yeah,
you got Marco Rubio.
Split up into two articles. I have there's one that's
the bad ones. The bad ones.
The bad
okay.
ones.
Fuckabee, Tulsi Gabbard. Hell yeah. Christy Nome.
That one
here it
really
is.
real.
JD Vance from Ohio.
I got
Yeah.
a master's degree talking about how like fake JD Vance's politics are. Like I am committed to like the right wing flopulism stuff. I do not think that shit is real. That shit is so fake. It is faker than a $3 bill. It is the fakest shit ever. It's just a bunch of nerds who can't get over that they're like they've dedicated their lives to this game show host who doesn't give a fuck about them and they're trying to like feel smart about it. It's really sad.
Yeah. His dream of winning over working class Democrats with an interventionist economic policy will not come true. Voters simply do not view politics along those lines. Insisting on it may make him feel better about himself, but it only confuses people and diminishes appeal. This, along with his slimy Silicon Valley background, is why he was one of the worst performing GOP Senate nominees in 2022. If he did not have the fortune to run in a state as red as Ohio that year, he would be unemployed, which is what happened to Blake Masters. Blake Masters, however, unlike JD Vance, also leaned further into the Groyper stuff. Like he thought he could.
He was the ultimate version of that.
Yeah, he was even worse than JD Vance in that situation. JD Vance is more like an empty slate. He's just, you can fill that up with whatever the fuck he thinks or whatever
He's
the
not
fuck.
as outwardly scary. He is the first I think ticket member to have a beard since Thomas Dewey in 1948. So
Yeah, he's beard fishing, which is also fun because it's like I don't know how successful that strategy will work. I don't know if Americans trust a candidate with a beard.
No, that there was like a lot of political psychology like done about that. They thought they looked like criminals. They didn't trust them.
Yeah,
but for him, it probably works out better because he used to go clean shaven and he looked like a toad. So poor guy.
Yeah. Also, Trump hates facial hair, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Drama. The girlies are gonna be fighting.
God, they made Tim Scott get married over this. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh wait, you were a Tim Scott truther. You were pulling for him.
Yeah.
I was a
think that's
Bergamaniac.
He would have been okay. I think Tim Scott would have been about like mediocre. People underrate how much of a lunatic he is on like religious issues, but it's like he's kind of fine. Like I mean, people would have made fun of him for like choosing a black guy, but I mean he's like been a senator for a while, so like I mean it would have been. It's just like there were so many normal ass politicians you could have chosen. It's just such an unnecessary risk. It's not like it's not even like, oh, Ohio's not in play. JD Vance is a negative appeal in Ohio. He did so terribly in Ohio. Ohio does not like him. He's like barely even from that state.
Yeah. And everything he's talked about Ohio before he became a senator, like is his genuine disgust for the entire region. Like routinely talking about his legitimate disgust for all of these like gross drug addicts that don't have that capitalist liberal mindset.
Yeah, that was back when he was trying to be a Paul Ryan guy, but then he changed his mind. He decided he likes them. So good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish it was Carson. Carson would have been such a fun throwback.
So why do you think Trump, let's talk about why you think Trump picked JD Vance regardless. Is it actually Don Jr. in his ear? Because Donald Trump is a pretty good room reader overall. I thought he would have done better off with like a moderate person, maybe even a woman specifically to like try to neutralize some of this abortion stuff.
Yeah, Stefanik would have been a really good pick. I was always a little worried about that. I thought that would have just been unambiguously strong for him. I don't really know why. I mean, it's like, oh, she's a flip-flopper also. She used to be a moderate Republican. This guy literally called you Hitler. I think he's just sexist. I think that's what it is. He's just a sexist guy.
Maybe. It makes sense. So do we think that this like brings back Peter Thiel into the question? Because like one big donor, Mercer, did kind of carry him across the finish line in the primaries, and then even helped him out quite a lot in the general election. So I feel like he's open to that sort of thing. Like he's not he's not
Thiel,
anti one big guy who will back him.
Yeah, Thiel I think is really kind of strange about this stuff. But he is very close with Vance. Vance is part of that shitty little subculture that he funded. Like Vance went on like the weirdest fucking podcast of all time, like back in the day. Like I think there are so many ways I think you could get him kicked from the ticket if you spin it the right way. Like he was on all these like obscure Reddit like post left shit. It was just like Twitter post left stuff. It was just like bizarre. I mean, I don't like know to what extent he really needs like the money. because like that like story about him being broke is a little old news because he made a lot of money off of the conviction. I'm imagining that he made a lot of money off of the shooting too. That was probably went crazy for him. Uh, like, and Biden is having all of his funds frozen by donors who want to kick him out of the race. I assume it won't hurt to have more funding because Biden's kind of had the airwaves uncontested. But like that, it creates all these problems that you're going to need that money to solve. I don't. It's just dumb.
Yeah. Vance, despite JD Vance's like very short political career so far,
Yeah.
he has an unimaginable bounty of attack ads ready to go.
Yeah.
Calling Trump Hitler, suggesting people in violent marriages shouldn't get divorced, saying like being far right on the issue of abortion. I mean, there are a lot of attack aspects here against JD Vance. So, you know, ultimately it's very I mean, he's also unimaginably uncharismatic. And has genuine disdain for the white working class, despite the fact that he tries to hit the populist narratives. Like he tries to do a Josh Hawley, which is yet another guy. That's another fucking dude that's like so obviously crafted in a laboratory to just present themselves as this like real champion of the white working class. Like Hawley even went to like a picket line, I'm pretty sure, right? Like, I mean,
he was
like
tryharding it like crazy.
And I don't think like Republicans at the end of the day give a shit about that. Like you won, you the Red Scare worked. You effectively neutered unions. Ronald Reagan did that big time. Like there's no reason for you to try to go back and be like, no. What we need to do is just like left wing populism for right wing Americans.
Yeah, it's Reddit. There's nothing else other to call it than Reddit. They're trying to like it's just kind of a philosophical NUI, and I don't think it's hard to understand it on the left because we don't really like go through this kind of thing. But they have had to spend like nearly a decade of their lives like loyal to a man who they know is like legitimately stupid. Like all these people know that Trump is a complete dipshit. They know that he's like a moron, that he only cares about himself, that he doesn't have a real ideology, that he just listens to the last person who talked to him in the room. And it drives them nuts because these people take themselves so seriously. They all want to be William F. Buckley. They all want to be these philosopher kings, and they just have like nothing to go with this guy. It drives them insane. So they've invented this sort of like they've done like backwards reasoning to invent this kind of Trumpist ideology out of whole cloth. And I think Trump really thinks that that's cool because it makes him like an interesting figure in a way that he can't really be by himself. And Vance kind of like getting the ascendancy here like shows like the kind of ultimate success of that kind of flattery for him because like in a way that I think it just like all these people are like they're like blue state liberals. Like Trump used to be a blue state liberal. Vance was never Trump. I think he kind of is attracted to that sort of insincerity because it reminds him of himself.
Yeah. I think he was ultimately looking for a guy who could get him some money from a state that like is could have been a battleground state. I don't think Ohio is anymore, but like Ohio is the Florida of the North.
Yeah.
But he wanted a guy who is not going to outshine him. He wanted a guy who is never going to be able to replace him. And he wanted a guy who at least had like some level of, a lot of loyalty to him. And I think because JD Vance is such a rat fucker, he is like so perfect for that role. Man with no like individual opinions, nothing unique about him whatsoever. He's just
this also totally destroys any chance he had at like kind of using the assassination to create an appeal for unity, which I think could have been worth worrying about because Americans are so stupid and sentimental. They might have fought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trump himself has personally changed his RNC speech as reported, and is like going for unity, for like that unity conversation, despite the fact that there are definitely Republicans desperately trying to be more divisive and trying to say something so hilarious almost because like they have very successfully pointed out how fucking old and feeble and stupid Joe Biden is, a doddering old fool. That narrative is stuck. And now they're turning around and being like, but he's also an evil mastermind who says a lot of violent things. That is the exact opposite of what you were saying that every American now actually recognizes.
Yeah,
right? So
it's incoherent. It doesn't stick because the problem is when they try to say people are too mean and rude to Trump, all the stuff that they're saying like was slander is stuff that people believe. This is like their big problem, and I think this was a huge reason why they did poorly in 2022. They are so like stuck up in the afterglow of winning in 2016 and feeling like they were the real voice of the people and like everybody else was a coastal elitist who didn't understand anything. They literally cannot recognize when they could be unpopular. They have to think that everybody is secretly behind them. So they're not capable of recognizing when they're getting bailed out. They're not capable of recognizing that Trump himself is not popular. He just looks strong relative to like this really unpopular president. He looks strong relative to Hillary Clinton. And so they need to like kind of go all the way with this because they assume that like not only is it the case that people feel bad for Trump, but they also think that he's totally innocent of all of his charges and is a great man who's trying to save the country. I mean, you may be like half of that may be right, but trying to like changing the conversation from like this kind of tragic and scary thing that happened to him where he did look kind of badass like through parts of it like to like oh this is actually about how Trump is a criminal rapist and like is almost like is halfway in a jail cell. That is the opposite of what you want to do in this circumstance. Like when Reagan was shot, his people didn't talk about how like this is just proof that nobody should ever talk about how like he's crazy again. They never did that. They let it like kind of speak for itself. And these people are incapable of doing that. They blew like the midterm of like a lifetime with 8% inflation, and they could if they can blow this, if they can blow that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But thank you, Edgar Mentum, for taking some time out from your vacation to come on and talk about your favorite candidate, JD Vance, Donald Trump's current VP
he got a weird
pick.
case while he's still around. We're gonna Eagleton him. I know that the head developer of TNO and I we got like the receipts. We're gonna take them out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, have a good one. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Bye, Hasana.
Mentum, everybody. You can see his Substack where he writes about the American elections quite frequently. He's written extensively on Israel as well. That's what I've been saying, dude. People are going to get tired of hearing it. Trump will get clips saying some insane shit. Everyone will remember he deserved to get shot at. No, dude. Here's the thing. One poll has come out post-assassination attempt, and it's like virtually unchanged. Donald Trump is at 44. Biden is at 42. Nothing has changed thus far. Why? Because Americans' opinions are so firm on this rerun, right? American opinions on like both Joe Biden and Donald Trump are firm. Now, I think that it will still change the dynamic as more people start paying attention, but it's entirely reliant on how Biden communicates and how Trump communicates. Okay? How Biden communicates going forward and how Trump communicates going forward is going to be a make it or break it. If Donald Trump hits this unity shit and he just like tries to present himself as more moderate, while the Democrats are trying to play fair by not talking about Donald Trump at all, okay, it's going to be devastating. Exactly. So ultimately, the VP pick by Trump doesn't really matter, right? The VP pick always is relatively inconsequential. The VP pick usually, unless it's like Sarah Palin, right? And you know, you take a shot in the dark on right-wing populism with a candidate that's like relatively moderate, and everyone, you know, everyone starts focusing on your insanely telegenic, but also utterly insane VP pick. It's oftentimes not that consequential. I don't think Vance brings in any additional votes, any new votes. I don't even know if Vance is going to make Trump seem more moderate, but Vance is just going to do whatever the fuck. Vance is going to do whatever the fuck Trump wants him to do. So if Trump wants him to go moderate, he'll go moderate. Trump wants him to go extreme, he'll go extreme. So you're saying Vance is not utterly insane? No, he's not utterly insane at all. JD Vance has no unique or independent convictions beyond the fact that he is the bloodless sociopath, Silicon Valley, elite educated rich guy masquerading as salt of the earth, as Alex Press correctly points out. Couldn't get more annoying for anyone who actually wants to build working class power. He's just a regular run of the mill grifter. Okay? JD Vance praises Project 2025 4 days ago. That actually makes a lot of sense as well, because he's like exactly the type of person that loves that Heritage Foundation shit. I know you hate Chris Rufo. The difference between Trump 2016 and Trump 2024 is that there is now an emerging right-wing counter-elite with sufficient knowledge, wealth, and power and prestige to advance the president's agenda through the institutions. Trump 2.0 will be an order of magnitude more effective. Yeah, dude, all the t-shirt salesmen. Yeah, I mean, he's wish casting, I think. Like, the MAGA party is the Republican Party. The Republican Party is the MAGA party, okay? I don't think that there's, like, significant ideological differences between Trump. Like, the only difference is that Trump is so personally invested in the most narcissistic way in the continuation of his own career and his own life and his own lifeline. But beyond that, there's not going to be like genuine differences. That's why Project 2025 so perfectly aligns with Trump's agenda. Even if Trump reads the room and recognizes that probably makes him look bad because people are getting afraid of Project 2025. This is pretty funny. Nikki Haley's son reacts to the news of Senator J.D. Vance's selection as Trump's VP. Breaking, Tim Scott calls off wedding. You know, 2 VPs with beards. 2 VP hopefuls with beards. What about a big boost to right-wing voter turnout as an issue post-attempt? Here's the thing. As far as this assassination attempt goes, this is not a conversation about diehard Republicans voting for the Republican Party versus diehard Democrats voting for the Democratic Party. This conversation is now about people who have previously voted for the Republican Party that are in the margins, that or are independents and moderates that are not exactly fond of Donald Trump because of his chaotic demeanor. And for the Democratic Party, it's those same guys. And on top of that, it's the guys that the Democratic Party has always historically relied on in every election cycle. Youth vote, okay? Hispanic votes in, not Florida, but Hispanic votes in New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona, places like that. The Democratic Party has basically cast aside those very important constituencies so that they can win over the older, educated white voters who live in the fucking suburbs, the independents and the moderates. Okay? Post-shooting, post-assassination attempt, will Donald Trump be able to show those guys in the suburbs that the Democrats have desperately tailored their entire messaging around securing? Will they go back to Donald Trump? Will Donald Trump be able to show them that he is more moderate? He wouldn't be able to do so if the Democrats actually were able to put together a better candidate, a more dynamic candidate, and a candidate that like is able to communicate that Donald Trump is not a moderate. Okay? Think we all really need to take time out here to spread the message of unity and just decide Joe Biden must pull all Democratic advertising before November? It's just too soon. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. When you get an assassination attempt, you just have to, you can't run against them any longer. No, they won't. You can't pretend to be moderate at the 11th hour, man, not after 8 years of being the most unhinged politician on the planet. My friend, you are discounting how much amnesia Americans have, how susceptible Americans are to marketing, and last but not least, how fucking stupid Americans are. And yes, I ran the ad break at the top of the hour for the record. Some of you saw it, some of you didn't. Okay? American voters are very dumb. Most voters are very dumb. We are kept dumb deliberately by a media landscape that is, purposefully driving home certain idiotic narratives. Okay? It's just, we're kept docile, servile, and stupid deliberately. I was explaining this to my friend who was in denial that Trump could ever win. Yeah. No new Fear End today and no fun day all weekend. Fear End, unfortunately, was taken down by YouTube that demonetized it, and we're trying to put it back up. Year of the Snake Oil Salesman. Congrats to our first auto fiction VP. Oh, here, this was fun. Here's JD Vance. going up to a UAW picket line in Toledo.
Nice to see you, Marcy.
Good to see you. Yeah. First time here?
First time here. Yep.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
All right, what can we do for you?
Marcy Capture, welcome Senator J.D. Vance. Says, first time here. Now, I also, just like everybody else said, Reagan landslide incoming when Donald Trump got shot, because I have no confidence in the Democratic Party. But you have to remember, people still fucking hate Trump. I still hate Trump. My opinion on Trump did not change. Your opinion on Trump did not change. Your parents' opinion on Trump did not change. Will the suburbanite moderate opinion on Trump change is the real question here. Okay? That's the real story. What does it mean when McConnell gets booted the RNC? It's just Donald Trump's party. That's it. And McConnell is a fossil, and he is presented as a rhino. Donald Trump has basically positioned himself against McConnell. Is there any way this pick is purposely bad because he makes more money with no responsibility this way? No. All right. Let's look at J.D. Vance's background a little bit further. So, because Trump's impulses are only about self-preservation, he does not have a coherent ideological background. That's why this is like during the Trump administration, for 4 fucking years, Republicans would literally always do this thing where they'd be like, he's actually doing 5D chess, sir. And it was not 5D chess. What you see is what you get with Donald Trump. Like, he's very good at reading the room, for sure, okay? And he's pretty decent at marketing himself. But the issue is he's never like a brilliant tactician. He's not like thinking ahead. He's thinking, how do I preserve my image here in this moment? How do I save myself? How do I do something that will ultimately put me on top? That's it. So trying to like create some kind of like coherent worldview off of those sentiments is always going to put you in a bind. You are not going to be coherent. You are always going to be at odds. Okay? You're gonna say conflicting shit.
Has become.
I don't think he's captivating anybody in the Rust Belt. I don't. He does not look, nor does he sound like a Rust Belt guy. He does not have the aesthetic appeal that you would have in a situation like that. He's not in the Rust Belt for most of his life. He went to fucking Yale. And his most significant accomplishment is writing a book about how the Rust Belt kind of sucks and is filled to the brim with heroin addicts. So I don't think, like, for liberals who are out of touch with the Rust Belt, liberals in the Upper West Side and the Upper East Side, yeah, they think he's a Rust Belt guy. They think he's the Rust Belt whisperer. Okay, but those guys are voting Democrat anyway. I don't think a single fucking person from Kentucky or a single fucking person from West Virginia or a single fucking person from like Michigan or any of these other places is looking at J.D. Vance and being like, I'm a Republican and I love Donald Trump's pick for J.D. Vance. Okay? I love Donald Trump's pick for J.D. Vance. He's my favorite guy. Like, no shot. No fucking shot. Like, Fetterman, despite being a fucking ogre, as a chatter also pointed out, despite being an ogre, is significantly more appealing on the aesthetic front to the average fucking, Western Pennsylvania voter. Okay? John Fetterman is literally a fucking ogre. He sucks. He's out of control with his with his unimaginably right-wing narratives on Israel, his hyper-focus on Israel, his hyper-fixation on Israel is weird as fuck. But beyond that, when you look at him, dude wears Carhartt all the fucking time, is dressed the part. Like, he aesthetically is more appealing to these kinds of people than someone like J.D. Vance is. People from the Rust Belt know what J.D. Vance is. They look at him and they know immediately what he is. Bloodless politician, possibly a secret liberal. You know what I mean? It's just, he's not the guy. Okay? In the same way that Josh Hawley is not the guy.
You'll be ready with your questions, and we'll get right back to you, Jacob. Thanks so much for your
reporting. Yeah, he's going to be
from
officially
the floor.
nominated
Joining
here.
me now right here on set in Milwaukee is Florida Republican Congressman Carlos Jimenez. Congressman, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Anyway, we'll get back to this in a second. I wanna finish off this Wall Street. You got that. This is pretty funny, but let me know how it worked in a bookstore when Hillbilly Trilogy came out. All my liberal coworkers were hyping up that book to every customer, raving about it. I bet they're all collapsing under self-hatred right now. Maybe I should check in on them. Yeah. So what is this? RNC teleprompter goes out and Mike Johnson has to immediately flee the stage. Yikes. Oh, Michael Penis. That's awesome. This is a quick aside, but if you want a quick live update on how the RNC is going, this is fucking hilarious, and I'm sure you would love it since you did this professionally before. Yeah, it ain't easy. Not everybody could fucking pop off with no teleprompty like Donald Trump can. You really think Trump is thinking about the future of the Republican Party with an air? Fuck no. That's just silliness, okay? That's just complete silliness. Donald Trump is not thinking about anything beyond his next steps, okay? Anyway, are you coming to Wisconsin? No, I'm not. I couldn't get into RNC. This was a wonderful ad from JD Vance, by the way. Let's watch this real quick.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. They censor us, but it doesn't change the truth. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans, with more illegal drugs and more Democrat voters pouring into this country. This issue is personal. I nearly lost my mother to the poison coming across our border.
How can you hate this guy? Wow, what a good ad.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
Like, that's insane, brother. Who the
that from the other room?
Who the fuck thought this was a good idea, bro? Like, that's great. Great. Phenomenal political instincts from this man, okay?
You hate Mexicans. Sounds like a drug ad.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
Actually, wasn't he getting
the media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump?
Yeah,
that's the mode he's stuck in. He's like, I have to just do drug ads the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, he's big pharma boy.
Trump's wall. They censor us, but it doesn't change the truth. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans, with more illegal drugs and more Democrat voters pouring into this country. This issue is personal. I nearly lost my mother to the poison coming across our border. No child should grow up an orphan. I'm JD Vance, and I approve this message because whatever they call us, we...
She divorced his dad to hook up with a hot Latino guy. I nearly lost my mom to the boys.
Yeah. No, dude, it's so funny to be like, I'm a racist who hates Mexicans, and also my mom is a fucking filthy drug addict. Vote for me. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Anyway, no immigrant coming into this country is going to Ohio. I mean, he should stay clear. Yeah. It's so funny because, like, yeah, he's a big pharma boy himself. You see JD Vance's tweets and fully understand why his mom traded him for some perk 30s. Oh, that's a banger. The way he calls himself an orphan as if he isn't 45. Yeah. So, it's he's a bad guy. He's not a good candidate. Okay.
I mean, there's a niche that would love him.
Yeah, but that niche is not driving home the Republican Party to victory, to like election success. And that niche that would supposedly love him is also sometimes at odds with the Republican Party's position on Israel, if we're talking about the same niche here.
Yeah, right.
Those guys are also like, oh man, Trump actually sold out to the Jews guys. You know what I mean? So I don't think they're fond of JD Vance that much either. You know? That niche loves him, is quote tweeting Alexa right now trying to debate about Israel. JD Vance called Trump Hitler in the past. How did he get the pick? Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well.
But he said that as a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. Here, let's look at Brian Tyler Cohen from More Perfect Union doing a fucking JD Vance video.
Vance, the investment banker, author, and now politician, built a career for himself on the idea that he's a man of the people who just so happens to have been successful and gotten rich.
I think that those of us who are lucky enough to have had the life that I've had have a certain responsibility to not completely forsake the people.
He's so fat, dude. He looks plump.
He looks like
he's
a
not
cherub.
fat in like a cool way. He's not fat like in a JB Pritzker or even in a Trump style way. He's just like fat in the worst way possible.
Well, it looks like he's been attacked by bees.
he has that like weird, why do you hate fat so much? No, I love, first of all,
fats.
I love people going, oh, we're fat phobic now. No, you don't understand. My favorite politicians are literally, most of them are fat. Okay. They're big boys. They're chubby boys. He, on the other hand, is like not fat in an appealing way. Okay. He has like He doesn't have that big boy status. He just looks like a plump child. Okay, it's not good.
He looks like he'd be on the wrappers for like a Kinder Surprise or something, like German kid.
Yeah, exactly. He just looks like he needs chocolate. Yeah, like he's not JB Pritzker status, big boy. He's just like, oh, I need some chocolates, chocolade. That's what he looks like. I need immer the chocolade.
People that we came from.
His 2016
Wo ist meine Strudel?
memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, was heralded for shining light on the unheard white working class of Ohio. His investment firms focus on the areas underserved by traditional venture capital, and the mainstream media put him on TV for years as an expert on the working class. And he does talk about the
by liberals, though. That's the problem. He was presented as an expert for the white working class by liberals. I hate this genre of like white working class whisperer fucking dumbasses, because like Red Scare podcast does this shit too. Almost all of it is like conducted by, for Red Scare podcast, it's literally like art history PhDs talking with like the worst vocal fry you've ever seen about how like, oh, you just have to be transphobic if you want to win like working class votes. Have you heard the working class? They like hate trans people. They're always talking about trans people. Like that's the Red Scare version of it. And then the Republican or not the Republican, but the liberal version of that is literally JD Vance, who's basically saying that as well. Basically saying that same shit, but like this time to MSNBC watchers.
problems working Ohioans face.
The opioid addiction is arguably the worst public health crisis that has existed in this country for 30 or 40 years. Gasoline, used cars.
If you're paying more for energy, everything's getting more expensive.
The elites in the ruling class of this country are robbing us blind.
Dude, you went to Yale. You are Peter Thiel's blood boy. What are you saying? You're a Silicon Valley guy who wrote a book about how the Appalachians are drug addicts.
But now that he's running for office, what would a Senator J.D. Vance actually mean for working Ohioans? We can tell by looking at how Vance got to this point. It's a story of comically evil billionaires, the people responsible for the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hate I hate the big bankers and big business, except for Peter Thiel. He's like, I hate.
Talk shit about
he's
him.
like, oh yeah, I hate gay people, except for Peter Thiel.
The famous vampire as well.
Yeah.
Epidemic, and even killer robots. For my next collaboration with the Classroom team at More Perfect Union, make sure to subscribe to them too. We looked into what side J.D. Vance is actually on. The working class world he came from, or the elite Silicon Valley billionaire world he moved up into.
The elites in the ruling class of this country are robbing us blind.
Vance's donors, past work, investments, and the personal beliefs he admits to out loud make it clear. Vance is using the working class narrative as a way to enrich himself and the powerful people supporting him, all at the cost of the people he says he's helping, like you. Let's dig in. Part of J.D. Vance's story is how he managed to rise to elite spaces from an upbringing in working class Kentucky and Ohio. His mother struggled with addiction, and he was raised by his grandparents.
For the most part, by his grandmother, Mama. Did I pronounce that correctly?
That's right. But he joined the Marines and got into Yale Law School, and today he is very, very rich. He owns millions of dollars of assets and brings in a venture capital salary 10 times that of the average Ohioan. And that's just the cash salary, not including his investment gains. A lot of that is thanks to a 2011 lecture that Vance calls the most significant moment of my time at Yale Law School. The speaker, Peter Thiel, Silicon Valley billionaire of PayPal Mafia fame. Look at any big tech company and Thiel's fingerprints are probably on it.
I met a guy who was a venture capitalist, Peter Thiel, in Silicon Valley.
I love the Silicon Valley jacket.
No, just show the Patagucci every time. It's over, okay?
So fucked.
There's no better way to fucking destroy this man other than just showing this angle, no beard, wearing the Patagucci, okay? That's it. That's it. Like, that's the guy, dude? That's the working class whisperer, dude? Yeah? He doesn't even look the part. Ted Cruz does a better job LARPing as a fucking real Texan man when he wears the fucking snakeskin boots and shit. Okay? What's wrong with Patagonia? Says the fucking dude who's a 17-month subscriber, probably living in a fucking liberal safe haven and a reliable Democratic Party voter for the most part. Yeah, exactly, dude. He is a Silicon Valley tech bro. There is a million of these guys in Connecticut, okay?
When I was at law school, and one thing led to another, and I found myself in Silicon Valley working for him.
Vance yada yada yadas over a lot there.
One thing led to another, and I found myself in Silicon Valley working for him.
But Thiel took Vance under his wing and gave him the network he needed to build a massive investment portfolio with several different funds. Thiel was one of the first people to read early drafts of Vance's memoir and even blurbed the book.
The first person I asked for a blurb is this guy, Peter Thiel, who I was working for at the time. And he was an investor in Silicon Valley and remains sort of involved in a lot of the projects that I'm working on.
And Thiel is still taking care of JD. He was an early supporter of Vance's Senate campaign, pouring millions of dollars into a pro-Vance super PAC before Vance even announced his campaign. In fact, Thiel has donated more to Vance than anyone has ever donated to a single Senate race.
Wait, what?
Yep,
More
you
than he
heard
gave
that
to
right.
Trump?
Thiel has spent more money trying to get this guy elected than anyone has ever spent on a single.
Peter Thiel tried to do like a Koch brothers style, like a Peter Thiel had a couple dudes that he like pumped money into. Those were his guys. And one of them was Blake Masters, which was a fucking insane failure in Arizona. And also the wait, why are people saying F? And also Vance. JD Vance and Blake Masters were like his two guys.
Candidate. Why would Thiel, a man who made his billions in tech and was on the board of Facebook until February,
He's got no eyebrows. He's so evil.
Like Voldemort.
He's so evil looking, which I would not say because I am scared of him. He's one of the few evil billionaires that I am legitimately afraid of.
Do you think there's a chance he watches you?
No, thank God. Like, I am less afraid of Elon Musk than I am of Peter Thiel, though. Like, this is a man who took down Gawker. He is very vindictive. He literally has blood boys like a vampire, and may or may not, allegedly, there's suspicious circumstances, his boyfriend died, killed himself, definitely wasn't murdered. I would never say that. I would never say that about Peter Thiel's boyfriend 2 years ago or a year ago. I can't remember exactly when it was.
Want this guy in office.
It's time to stop complaining about big tech. It's time to start writing them strong letters, and it's time to start doing something about it.
And it's not just Thiel donating to Vance. Vance's top donor list looks like a guest list for a union-busting seminar at Davos. The job title among Vance's donors that donated the most total money isn't nurse or construction worker, it's CEO, which is concerning because I thought I heard someone say,
The elites in the ruling class of this country are robbing us blind.
but really, why would America's elites support someone who claims to be fighting against America's elites? Looking at some of the specific issues Vance talks about makes it clear. Take the opioid crisis. Vance blames everything from immigration to low church attendance, but never points the finger at the people most responsible, Purdue Pharmaceuticals. The Classroom team made a full video on Purdue's role in creating this epidemic. Vance's charity, Our Ohio Renewal, promised to work with Ohioans affected by the opioid crisis, and he brought in an expert, Dr. Sally Sattel. Sounds great in concept, but Sattel was from the American Enterprise Institute, which took money from Purdue. Sattel herself had cited Purdue-sponsored research and papers about opiate pain relief. That is a trend for Vance. He points out a problem, then allies with the elites linked to causing it. Like how Vance talks about gas prices.
When energy prices go up, who benefits? Industries that don't require energy. Wall Street, big tech, universities.
Even though one of Vance's top donors is John Addison, a trader for Vitol, a Dutch energy company. In 2020, Vitol was accused of organizing an illegal price-fixing scheme, manipulating California's gasoline markets. They falsely drove up the price of gas for consumers to increase their profits. A lawsuit was filed by California State, implicating Vance's top donor Addison in his conspiracy. So when Vance asks,
when energy prices go up, who benefits?
The answer is his own donors who are literally manipulating gas prices for their own benefit. Vance is shrewdly addressing the problems facing Ohioans, blaming the wrong people, and then allying with those who are really to blame. Which brings us back to Vance's billionaire benefactor, Peter Thiel, and Vance's relationship with big tech.
When the technology
I'm not familiar with right-wing law. What's the argument for immigrants causing the opioid crisis? That bit I missed. I don't really.
It's awesome. So they say that immigrants are shipping drugs over the border, like when they're doing illegal crossings, like they're sneaking in the drugs, which, by the way, there is zero evidence for. And I cannot stress this enough. They claim that immigrants are actually mules that are like shipping in drugs, okay? When in fact, the Department of Homeland Security's own data shows that it is not immigrants that are border crossing that are shipping in drugs. 94% of all drugs coming into the United States illegally is coming from regular points of entry through the ports, through the actual fucking border crossings, like legal methods. Because The reality is, for the tons and tons of fentanyl and chemicals to make fentanyl, like for that product to cross through the border, you could not stuff it in the pockets of a fucking otherwise law-abiding abuela, but you would have to literally put it in fucking cars. And that's precisely how the cartel operates. They put it in fucking cars. They literally chop up vehicles driven by white people usually, but American citizens specifically that are less likely to be stopped at the border. They chop those cars up and they shove the cars full of fucking fentanyl and fentanyl components. And that's how they cross the fucking border. That's it. They use tunnels. They use regular shipping containers. And they use vehicles when we're talking about like, big amounts of fentanyl.
You can make that stuff here, right?
Well, I mean, you still need the chemicals and shit. Why do I know this? Well, I don't know, because I'm not a fucking dumbass. Like, that's it. That's it. That's the reason why I know this, because it's I look at the data, number one, and number two, I'm not a fucking idiot. All right, here's the charismatic JD Vance.
He looks better.
Someone who was once one
the beard,
of Donald Trump's fiercest critics, now one of his biggest supporters, biggest defenders, poised to accept his party's nomination to be Donald Trump's vice presidential nominee. You can see the excitement, the frankly enthusiasm in the room is palpable. Let's go back to Jacob Soboroff.
So
Jacob,
hot. Like, everyone is so sexy. I wish I was there
as we watch
alongside
these pictures
them.
Rubbing shoulders, rubbing heads.
Kristen, you said it. There is excitement and there is enthusiasm. You saw him walk out with his wife, and to me, honestly, the striking part of this was I've never seen JD Vance in person. At least I can't recall a moment that I have. He has a youthful look and a youthful energy to him. And I know we'll get into policy. We'll get into the politics of this moment in just a little bit. But it's a different look. It's a younger look. And when you will ultimately see Vice President Kamala Harris.
Jacob has done such phenomenal work. He used to work at Participant. I know him like a little bit. We have a lot of we came out of similar circles in the media, I would say, like almost 10 years ago at this point. He's done phenomenal work on the border at NBC. I don't know why he's fucking glazing
JD
up
Vance
this
is now out
dipshit.
there on the convention floor, and all I can see is people wanting to grab him, do selfies with him. Like I said, he's from the Rust Belt. He's from the heartland of America. We'll be talking a lot more about that in the manufacturing issues, immigration, everything that he said about the shooting with former President Trump and the way that he assigns blame. But now's the moment for him to walk out here and be in the spotlight for the first time as former President Trump's selection to become his vice presidential running mate, Kristen.
Well, it is an historic moment as we watch JD Vance shake hands, hug, high five the delegates, holding his wife's hand there on the convention floor as we watch this scene unfold.
I would do such a better job than these guys if they gave me press access. Like, can you imagine me down there real time doing commentary in real time, dude? Oh, fuck.
About what's happened today. Donald Trump is now your party's official nominee to be president of the United States. And he announced his running mate in a Truth Social post just about 20 minutes after he called JD Vance and made him know it was official. What's your reaction to this pick?
I think it's exciting.
Oh,
Obviously,
my God. Where are they now?
Home turf, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We could be more thrilled to have
Where are
the
they
ticket.
now?
I think
You
more
guys are
than that,
monsters.
you even hear it with
I
the
hate
music. You think about that book that he wrote about his family's life. I think a lot of Americans who don't know much about him will be amazed to think this is someone whose family dealt with addiction. This is someone who lived in the depth of poverty and despair. And a lot of Americans feel abandoned by politicians of both parties in Washington. This pick, I think the more they get to know about JD Vance will appeal to them.
Let me follow up with you on that point on the politics of this pick, because he's widely seen as the future of the MAGA movement. A Trump campaign official once explained the different choices Trump was mulling as JD Vance is the
Why are
future.
you quiet on the
Senator
Cody
Marco
Co
Rubio would have
allegations?
potentially
Because I'm
helped
sheltering him
electorally
because he's
quite
my
a bit.
friend.
We're all
And
in on
North
it.
Dakota
Yeah, we're all.
Governor JD
I was
Vance,
there,
North
and I
Dakota
knew
Governor
about it, and I
Doug
hid the
was seen as a
truth.
safe.
And not because I'm a political commentator whose responsibility is to do political commentary at a time when the Republican National Convention is occurring. and the VP pick is happening.
There's two reasons. These states obviously ready, but even more so. More important than that, it's a generational pick. It's saying with all the talk about age and questioning that going forward, this is somebody who's that next generation, but not just some young rising star, as he mentioned in his book.
I also have notoriously not criticized people that I know personally when it comes out that they've done some fuck shit, famously so. So that's the reason why I'm doing it.
He can appeal. He can connect with those voters. That's really powerful.
The Biden campaign has already indicated, according to our team of reporters at the White House, that they are going to define J.D. Vance as being extreme. They will argue he is extreme on abortion, for example. He made comments in the wake of the Texas law. The abortion ban being passed does not include exceptions. He downplayed the fact that it doesn't include exceptions. That's outside of where Trump is. Trump is very much someone who says that exceptions are key and this should be left up to the states. He's espoused that position. He's now closer to Trump. But what do you make of that? Could that be a drag on the
Donald Trump is the nominee of this party. It's his agenda going forward, win or lose. And I think that's clear. Just like Kamala Harris, Newsweek identified her 4 years ago as to the left of Bernie Sanders in terms of being liberal on the issue. So
bad on abortion,
both of these candidates, Kamala Harris
and female reproductive choice.
Wait, why can't you have IVF? What's the What's the?
Because there's a baby, bro. That's God. That's a life.
Biden and Trump have.
God doesn't
Governor,
want you
let's
reproduce.
talk about this moment in which we find ourselves, because there's a lot of excitement right now on the convention floor, understandably, and yet it comes at a somber moment, not only for your party, but for this country, quite frankly, in the wake of the assassination attempt against former President Trump. How do you think that will impact the proceedings here?
It's really overwhelming. It's changed everything from the moment delegates started to come in yesterday as we welcomed them to Wisconsin. Obviously, a sense of grace and appreciation that by God's grace, the former president, and I say that not just because he's my nominee, but I was upset years ago when someone got through the North Lawn at the White House when Barack Obama was president. We don't want that in any American president, former president. But I think here it's a renewed sense of focus. I still remember as a kid when Ronald Reagan was shot and how that made me feel, how scared America was, and then how strong he was after that. That was part of his divine plan to move the country and the world forward. I'm hopeful that we'll hear about that in the coming days from President Trump.
It's our reporting that the former president is rewriting his speech. He said that. He has said that he feels as though he was saved by...
Dude, like, this kind of divine plan shit works so well for Americans. Like, obviously, in this community, it's probably the worst type of narrative. But, like, dude, dumb Americans love that shit, dude. They love that shit. Oh, my God. He's going to be eating so goddamn good.
What it was like with that literally...
That's why every, like, dumb right-wing pedophile that's, like, outed will immediately turn into, like, a Christian content creator. You know what I mean? People eat that up, dude. Okay? So many people eat that shit up.
Not beyond that. So I think it's very contemplative, but I also think he's not going to back away from being a fighter. We saw it on that stage Saturday night. The key is, from winning in Wisconsin and elsewhere, he's got to be a fighter for everyday Americans, for the people who feel forgotten, and that's what he won with in 2016, and I think he's capable of doing it again now.
Governor Scott Walker, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go back to the convention floor. They're about to officially nominate Senator J.D. Vance as the vice presidential nominee to Donald J. Trump.
Preside over the Senate and to be ready to lead our nation at a moment's notice. Such a man must have an America first attitude in his heart. He must embrace his obligation to the American family, the American worker, and the American soldier. He must believe that America is exceptional.
Unlike the Democrats who hate America's soldiers.
And be prepared in the tradition of our founders to pledge his life.
13 of our best soldiers were killed because of Joe Biden.
And defend the Constitution of the United States.
They stayed occupying Afghanistan. That's not what.
But that would have been a fine, acceptable death for our best soldiers.
He must share the values and principles of our presidential nominee and be trusted to faithfully implement the will of the people. J.D. Vance is such a man. J.D.
You got the microphone to try to lead a chant.
A man who loves America and will represent our people with moral courage, strength, and honor. JD is a living embodiment of the American dream.
Chad's like, Chad be like, weak crowd, bro. The average age of that crowd is 87. Like, what do you mean?
Never imagined. He never forgot where he came from. Ohio values are in his blood. He served our nation in the United States Marine Corps.
By the way, JD Vance is so similar to Ron DeSantis in so many ways. Like, he is so similar to Ron DeSantis, like literally, except, you know, he was able to, you know, not be as genuinely off-putting as Ron DeSantis on camera somehow. Not by like a wide margin, by the way, just by
and
like,
he is a crusader for the people of the Ohio in the United States Senate. He has never forgotten the working people of our country, and he never will. He fought to bring investment to middle America as a businessman and has fought to defend them every single day in the Senate. And this I know, he will faithfully stand by President Donald Trump's side as they win this election and change the course of our nation. They will change the course of our nation to the benefit of all American citizens and truly make our country great again. It is therefore my honor to nominate Ohio Senator J.D. Vance for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
Delegates and alternates, pursuant to Rule 40A, a motion to nominate by acclamation is now in order. The chair now recognizes Delegate Bernie Moreno, Senate candidate from Ohio, for the purpose of making a motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Bernie Moreno. I'm honored to be the Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate from the great state of Ohio. I know firsthand that my dear friend JD is a selfless and brilliant fighter. He is a patriot who loves America. He loves Ohio. He loves his family. He's a great father. He's a great man. And that's what we need in this nation today. To JD Vance, America First is not just a slogan. It's his North Star. He has followed it every moment of his life and career. He knows what it's like to live in poverty, forgotten by Washington politicians. He is dedicated to ensure that no American is ever forgotten again. Madam Chair, it is a great honor to move that J.D. Vance be nominated by acclamation by this Republican National Convention as its candidate for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
It's so depressing the Democrats have opened the floor to let these guys laugh as poor people. It's just like
Without objection, the
waste.
previous question is ordered. The question is on the motion that Senator J.D. Vance be nominated by acclamation. All those in favor signify by saying
can you talk
aye.
about his wife? Why? He has a hot wife. Like
All
what?
those
Then she's
opposed
Indian? Is that
signify
what it
by
is?
saying no.
I don't give a shit.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the
I don't
motion
think Republicans
is
give a
adopted.
shit either.
Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
Like,
about the people he was targeting with his "Are you racist?" ad.
yeah, I mean, he was talking about Mexicans though. He wasn't talking
That's
about
different.
Indians.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that it's the vice president's wife, Chad. Come on.
It's the second lady.
Like, I don't think people give a shit about that personally.
To be the next Vice President of the United States. The chair is pleased to make the following appointments to the Escort Committee for Senator J.D.
What?
Vance.
John
his vice
Don Vance?
presidential
No, that's a
nominee.
meme, right?
No,
Vance?
Vance isn't his last
Thank
name.
you. And God bless America.
No.
Ladies
No.
and gentlemen, please welcome back Speaker Johnson.
All right. What a great night. Pursuant to Rule 40D of the rules of the Republican Party, I formally declare President Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance as the Republican nominees for President and Vice President of the United States.
James David, sadly. Okay. Is James David.
Ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen, please welcome
You
back
guys are such
RNC
fucking.
Chairman
Yeah, no,
Michael
no
Plotney.
shot. You're so dumb. Jingle dingle Vance.
What a great afternoon for the Republican Party, and what a great afternoon for America. It is now time to take the official convention photograph. If all of the delegates would please stand and turn to the center camera directly opposite the stage, we will take the official photograph.
He's punching above his weight. This is insane.
Thank God. This is great. This is real dynamic stuff, real awesome stuff happening. It's so sick that I forgot to run the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. You know what I mean? That's how fucking sweet this shit is. We'll get to the Demolition Ranch video. TMZ also has a new leak from the shooter, from the Trump shooter, talking about his penis size.
They're on top of
because
it.
TMZ is literally the best fucking news source in America, okay? Why aren't you there? Because they wouldn't have me there. They would not have me there. Also, this is pretty funny. We are watching the creation of new forms of race science hitherto unknown to mankind. J.D. Vance's wife is Indian, by the way. She has more European physiognomy, though. Her bloodline is probably a mix of early Macedonian invasions.
Insane. A lot of Serbs think that that we're Indians, like tracing it back to like Sanskrit words and things. So you know, there's a. I think they're digging up Balkan race science to make this point.
Yeah, I love this. This is my favorite type of like follows you. Yes, foundational white janissary. The person who's making fun of these guys is following me. Oh, nah, this is entry-level racism in India. You ain't seen shit yet. I know, but these guys aren't Indian. So how do they know about ancient, mystical Indian levels of racism? Indian racism previously unknown to the Western world. How did they unearth that shit? That's what I'm saying. Like, this is beginner level racism for Indian nationalists. This is expert level racism for Western white supremacists. Indian 4chaners reaching out. Yeah, there is universal collaboration among the fascists online. That's awesome. Anyway, digging up Indian artifacts is literally what Nazis do. I know, but like this is not in contemporary white supremacy. This is like new stuff for them. Okay, just like it's new stuff for you at the top of the hour, and there's a 3-minute ad break. It's new, but it's not unique, and you can avoid it by, like I said, subscribing for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Wait, what? New local news reported they fucking found the shooter 30 minutes
for quite some time.
This is so boring. I'm not gonna cover this any further. Okay, I thought JD would come up there and talk and say his name is actually John Don Vance. I'm finally coming out. Alleged Trump shooter spotted by law enforcement nearly 30 minutes before shots were fired, sources say. Wow. Incredible stuff. Butler, PA, Channel 11 News uncovered dramatic new details Monday in the moments leading up to the assassination attempt. According to multiple law enforcement sources, Thomas Crook was spotted by law enforcement on a roof nearly 30 minutes before the shots were fired. I mean, we knew that at least 5 minutes prior, people were pointing out to the roof. We knew that eyewitness testimony immediately afterwards actually told cops. We knew that a cop actually went up the ladder and then got scared and went back down the ladder, okay, moments before he shot at the president. But we did not know that they spotted him 30 minutes prior, which is crazy. Channel 11's Nicole Ford confirmed that Beaver County's ESU team had 8 members of the rally, including snipers and spotters. According to Ford's sources, one of them noticed a suspicious man on the roof near the rally at 5:45 p.m., called it in and took a picture of the person. We have learned from our source that the person in that picture is Thomas Crooks. We're told it's not clear if Crooks had a gun with him at that point. According to multiple sources, a law enforcement officer had also previously seen Crooks on the ground and called him in as a suspicious person with a picture prior to 5:45 p.m. Our sources tell us an officer checked the grounds for Crooks at that point, but did not see him where the first picture was taken. 26 minutes after the second picture of Crooks was taken by law enforcement and the information called in, shots were fired from the roof of the American Glass Research Building. Seconds later, a Secret Service sniper returned fire and killed Crooks. That is awesome.
So wild. What were they doing? Just like,
dude, he was
not
white.
communicating.
There is nothing more OP. Dude, I'm serious. There is nothing more OP than being a white guy, like a schlubby, pasty white guy that just looks like he would be a pro-Trump guy. Like, you are basically invisible in that crowd.
Well, that's how we sneak into like the weapons conferences and stuff. It's just being like a white dude in a suit.
Yeah, that's
no
like,
no one's gonna ask you anything.
It's so perfect, dude. It is crazy how much being like a schlubby white guy, how much being a pasty schlubby white guy goes, like how long of a way that goes in terms of just like sheltering you from any kind of scrutiny from law enforcement.
Damn, this guy's good.